called me Baboon when I was younger, so I don't know if I need the mic. We're dating ourselves, right? You know who Baboon is?
Yeah.
Well, good morning. Isn't it a beautiful day here in Ventura County?
Gorgeous.
Are we not just blessed to live here?
Yes.
Right? My name is Laura Hernandez, and I am the former Assistant Director for the Ventura County Sheriff's Office of Emergency Services. Currently, I'm an adjunct professor with the Marvin V. Smith School of Business and Economics at Cal State University, Channel Islands. Welcome all of you. Before I get started, I wanted to recognize there are many officials here. I want to recognize just a few of them before we get started. I want to welcome Jim Hensley, City of Port Hueneme, my city. Jeff Berg, the Ventura County Auditor Controller. Mark Dorella in the back from our County Probation Department. Emmanuel Mijares from City of Fillmore. Tony Skinner from IBEW.
Hey, Tony.
And Dr. Paul Levin from our Public Health. Well, I am both excited and honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today as we recognize Martin Hernandez and his candidacy for the 3rd District of the Ventura County Board of Supervisors. Before we start, however, I must offer you a disclaimer, and that is Martin and I are not related. Nor am I here because we share the same last name. I am here because I have worked with Martin for more than 16 years and believe that he is the right candidate to serve as our 3rd District Supervisor. I am here because my family has been a part of Santa Paula since the early 1900s. I grew up and went to school in Santa Paula, and currently I reside in Port Hueneme, also within the district, the 3rd District. Like so many of you who have worked and lived here for many years, we know firsthand of Martin's accomplishments and his years of hard work at the local level. Because of Martin and people like yourselves, we are able to enjoy the quality of life that we have so worked hard for, to preserve. We are here because we share the same commitment to local government, public safety, and the economic vitality of our communities. Now, whether you call him Marty, Martin, or Martin, as his mother so lovingly called him, we are all here to declare our support for the candidate who has a proven record of experience and commitment to the 3rd District. And before we move on, I'd like to acknowledge a very special lady integral to this campaign, and that's the incomparable Holly Doring, wife of Martin. She has been leading from behind and working like the Energizer Bunny while still holding a full-time job and caring for her home and family. Her and I are becoming fast friends, and I'm just in awe of her strength and her fortitude. She is the small but mighty machine behind this campaign, so let's please give her another applause. I want to also introduce to you Dennis Shaw, who was working on this campaign, and Georgine Trujillo, who's part of Team Martin. This morning we're going to hear from local leaders who will attest to Martin's abilities to represent the 3rd District. Most importantly, we will hear why we believe Martin is the best candidate to follow in the footsteps of his mentor, the fabulous Kathy Long, and lead us into the next 4 years as our 3rd District Supervisor. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the podium our first speaker, the Honorable John Zaragoza, Ventura County Supervisor of the 5th.
Thank you, Laura. It's really an honor for me to be here today to support Martin. And Martin told me, make it short. So I'm going to make it short. Elect Martin to the 3rd District Supervisor. Put your hands together for Martin. I'm honored to be here today to say a few words about my good friend Martin. One of the things, ladies and gentlemen, that I believe Martin has in his favor that he's going to hit the ground running, because Martin has been with the county for many, many years. And in fact, he knows the county probably better than anybody else. And Martin has worked with many agencies, and I just want to name a few of those agencies. There's many, many agencies that are here in the county. For example, he's worked with the Ag Commissioner, he's worked with the AAA, he's worked with the Board of Supervisors, the County Executive's Office, he's worked with RMA, he's worked with the Department of Fire and Police and the Sheriffs and the Veterans Office, and also with LAFCO. He's worked with the Probation Agency, Public Works Agency, the Sheriff's Office, and just to name a few of the many agencies that Martin has worked with. So I just want to share with you, when I first started here in the Board of Supervisors, I got elected here in 2008 and took office in 2009. The first person that I met was Martin. And Martin went over to my office and said, Supervisor Zaragoza, if you need anything, let me know. And he was right there. He was right next door to me. And I didn't know at the time anything about the county, other than I thought I did. I knew a lot of things about the county. But if I knew what Martin knows now, I would have had it made. My staff would have had it great. What we did, we went from agency to agency, department to department, to find out what was happening in the county, because it's much different than coming from the city of Oxnard as a council member, where we had few agencies, and here in the county we have a budget of $2 billion and 9,000 plus employees that Martin is going to fit in very well. And again, when I came in, and right up in my office on top, Martin came over again and said, Supervisor Zaragoza, whatever you need, I'm here to do so. Martin has a lot of experience, as I mentioned before, knowing all the agencies, working for the supervisor, and now working as a council member for the city of Santa Paula, Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Santa Paula, and now as a mayor in Santa Paula, and has done an excellent job. Put your hands together for Martin for doing that good work. As I mentioned, Martin has done an excellent job for Supervisor Long. He's going to continue working for Piru, for Fillmore, for Santa Paula, for South Oxnard. I'm going to need him in South Oxnard to help us out there for Port Wayne, and especially for Camarillo. So he's going to be doing a good job for all of us, and it's going to be an honor for me to have him as a fellow supervisor working at the Board of Supervisors, because we need him. Put your hands together again for Martin. It's really an honor to be here. As I mentioned before, short presentation, but I'm here to support him. He's going to be a very, very good supervisor, and we need him here. Thank you for all the support, and thank you for being here. And I noticed that the City Council is here too, back there. I see the council members, and I know John Proctor, the former mayor, and also the city manager is here to support him. So thank you again. Laura, thank you again for the good work that you've done for the county. She's done an excellent job. This is not your campaign, but I want to share with you that you've done a good job. And thank you again for supporting Martin. Thank you on behalf of the 5th District, my staff. Support Martin. Let's vote for Martin. Thank you so much.
Krause from Santa Paula City Council. I didn't mention her, but she's here somewhere. I know you're there. You are right in front. Of course, I missed you right in front. Sorry about that. So the banner that Martin is running on is service and commitment, experience and commitment, and I think that's what we can walk away with after hearing Supervisor Zaragoza. Our next speaker is going to be the Honorable John Proctor, Council Member and former Mayor for the City of Santa Paula. Welcome, John.
Thank you. This is indeed a beautiful day, not just because of our surroundings, but this is a day I've waited for to support my very dear friend, Martin Hernandez. And I do want to make a disclaimer, I'm not related to Martin. Hard to believe, but I have to tell you that I refer to him as B-Fam, and that's short for brother from another mother. And I like to joke that unless we're standing right next to each other, it's very hard to tell us apart. But in all seriousness, I share so many great things with Martin. I'm on the council with him. I have that great pleasure. He's serving as our mayor now. But when I first met Martin, or first experienced him, I got a sense of, like a deep sense of spirituality and inner strength. And also I got the sense that this was a guy who'd been through some really difficult times in life, but had come out the other side a much better person. And that's the incredible person we know as Martin Hernandez today. We found ourselves, in different places together and having the same interests. I can remember being at the Family Resource Center where he was integral. Also, we were at Las Piedras Park in Santa Paula where we did something called Weed and Seed, which had to do with crime prevention, but also interceding with positive programs. Another thing I wanted to bring up about him, and I think it's really important when you look at a representative, is his sense of fairness. I've witnessed him in all kinds of settings, and he treats a congressman or a farm worker with the same dignity, and that speaks a lot to his character. I do want to make this short, and what I would like to say is that Martin is a rare blend of intelligence, common sense, compassion, and integrity. It doesn't get any better than that. We don't find that much of this. He possesses the true soul of a public servant, and I am thrilled, absolutely thrilled to put my support behind my BFAM, my brother from another mother, a person I admire greatly, Martin Hernandez. So please, everyone, thanks for coming out, and let's support Martin.
Thank you, John. Now it is my honor to invite up to the podium Chief of Police Stephen McLean, City of Santa Paula.
First of all, for the sake of transparency, I'm here today on my own. Someone who's a citizen who happens to have 35 years experience in law enforcement, and someone who does support Martin. I don't have anything written, but I do want to touch on a couple things that have not been mentioned. Yes, he's got that all-important experience where he can hit the ground running. He's made the connections and relationships and the partnerships that are critical to get things done in this county. Yes, he's got experience as a local elected official. He's done a good job as mayor and has demonstrated, at least to me, his leadership abilities. Well, what I really like about this man is he's got the right combination of experience, leadership, and personality. And personality is important. I mean, let's be honest here. How many of you have ever worked with someone who might have all the experience and the background, but their personality sucks? And you know what I mean? So personality is important. One of the things I like about Martin is he's a humble man. And if you look at what's going on with the presidential elections, that's been one of my biggest disappointments. Well, if you know Martin, he's not only humble, but he's been a public servant his entire life. Public service is not what Martin does. Public service is who he is. It's how he rolls. He's a man of tremendous compassion. For example, he offered to lead a committee to look into the issue of homelessness in Santa Paula. And I've been in the meetings with Martin, and I see how much it means to him. You see, my friends, Martin identifies more with the underdog than he does with the elitists. That's where Martin feels comfortable. You go to a function where he's there, and I've been to many with Martin, where are you going to find him? Yes, he's going to shake hands with the politicians and work the room, but eventually you see him in the kitchen, talking to the cooks, talking to the waiters, talking to the busboys. And for me personally, that means a lot. Him and I have a lot in common. Sons of immigrants, as am I. If you're looking for a tiebreaker, say for example, you got a couple candidates you really like, but you're not sure where to go. Well, I'd say the fact that this man served his country is a tiebreaker for me. And by the way, notice we've got a couple of veterans. So how about a big hand for our veterans that are here today? So the fact that Martin is a veteran also is a big plus. But like I said, he's a humble guy. I've never met a person in Santa Paula, I've been almost 3 years now, that has one bad thing to say about Martin Hernandez. And if you show me a person that has something bad to say about Martin Hernandez, then I'll show a person's got some issues. But anyway, like I said, I'm here on my own time. But it was important that I came here today. Like I said, look at all the candidates, and for me, when I look around at who's running, who's got the compassion, who's got the humbleness, the experience where he hit the ground running. But more than that, for me, is there anybody that's going to have Santa Paula's back more than Martin Hernandez? And the answer is no. That's him. So, Martin, it's been great to get to know you and your family. I appreciate the fact that you're a man of tremendous character, ethics, and integrity. And by the way, position of supervisor is a position of leadership, right? And without character, integrity, and ethics, there is no leadership. So, again, thank you for coming here and supporting Martin.
Thank you, Chief. Great words. And thank you for acknowledging our veterans who are here today and those of you who are watching. We're moving on to Fillmore now, and it is my proud duty to recognize the Honorable Carrie Groge, Pro Tem for the City of Fillmore. Please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Adjust here a little bit. So it is an honor and a privilege to be here this morning as Martin announces his bid for supervisor for the 3rd District of our county. Martin was elected to Santa Paula City Council the same year I was elected to Fillmore City Council. As neighboring cities, we've shared mutual community concerns, mutual colleagues, and often find ourselves at the same community events. But I first became acquainted with Martin years prior to our elections to City Council. Working with Supervisor Long, as Martin was doing, I, meanwhile, was working with another county agency. And my agency had many reasons to interact with the Board of Supervisors. I learned early on that if I needed assistance with a project, if we had a constituent, for example, that needed help with something, or if I needed signatures on a grant proposal, Martin was the go-to person. He got things done, and I learned that quickly. Having worked so many years with the Board of Supervisors, and with Supervisor Long specifically, Martin has gained a wealth of knowledge and experience that I believe will allow him to hit the ground running once elected. I'm also endorsing Martin because he knows this county. He grew up in Port Hueneme. He went to high school in the city of Ventura. He's the mayor of Santa Paula, and so he certainly knows the entire Santa Clara Valley area. His work as the chief of staff of Supervisor Long has led him to all corners of the county. So to put it simply, Martin has experience that no other potential candidate has. But most importantly, Martin has a servant's heart. Allow me to just name a few examples of how Martin's life history demonstrates this. At 18, he enlisted in the Air Force and served his fellow soldiers as a medic. He worked as a certified treatment specialist after being in the service. His first county position early on was with the Behavioral Health Department, where he worked in the alcohol and drug program, again serving individuals. He served as the director of Interface Family Services Research Center in Santa Paula, working with at-risk youth. He served on the Regional Sanitation District and the Air Pollution District Advisory Board. He served on the Santa Paula Basin Pumpers Board. He served on the Boys and Girls Club. The list goes on and on. I firmly believe that the most effective leaders have one thing in common. They must be servants. I see this demonstrated so well in Martin. He doesn't talk about helping others and getting involved. He demonstrates it by his actions that he is a servant first. Our county faces many difficult challenges ahead. how to maintain open spaces yet still find a compromise for sustainable growth. The whole medicinal marijuana issue, soon possibly recreational marijuana. Our infrastructure, our roads and streets, as we all know, are in need of great repair. And perhaps our most significant issue is our water issue. But I'm confident that we as a county can tackle these challenges and come out ahead if we are smart about who we choose to lead. And I am 100% confident that Martine is that leader. So I thank you for this opportunity to speak this morning. And Martine, I wish you the best of luck. And I will be alongside you through this journey, as I'm sure almost everybody else here will as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And you mentioned a couple of issues that are certainly very important to them, one of which is our agricultural community and how much it contributes to our economic vitality here in Ventura County. And with that said, it is my honor to bring up Rob Roy, Esquire, President and General Counsel, Ventura County Agricultural Association.
Thank you, Laura. I'm here today as a representative of the ag community. I've been involved representing the farmers here in this county for 39 years. A lot of knowledge and experience in dealing with many of the issues that pertain to the ag industry. I'm here to support my friend, mi hermano, Martine. I can't say enough about this man. You know, we have been in the trenches together for the last 15 years. We have attended numerous public meetings, LA regional water quality control meetings, dealt with the diversity of issues such as water, farm labor housing, the Santa Clara River and chloride in the river and how it affects the farmers, LAFCO land use issues, and the issues just go on. They are never ending. But the key here is that, you know, we want to replace someone in Kathy Long's district. And by the way, I do want to salute Kathy for a terrific career that she has had, and I think that she has molded and allowed Martine to be the person he is these days. But you know, we don't need someone that can't hit the ground running, that is looking for a temporary spot for a future elected position. We need somebody that has the skill and experience to hit the ground running. You know, I have appeared before the Board of Supervisors countless times and have dealt with him, Kathy, Supervisor Zaragoza on numerous issues that affect not only the ag community but the entire county in general. And I just can't say enough about the integrity and the honesty and the passion of my friend. He is going to be the type of person that's going to listen to the facts. He's going to listen to the arguments. He's not going to be a mouthpiece for any particular party or any particular special interest. He's generally going to represent the interests of the 3rd District. And by the way, I just moved into Camarillo, so I'm now in your district. But I really look forward to working with Martine as I have for the last 15 years or more. And I hope that someday we will see him next to Supervisor Zaragoza in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. And thank you to all our speakers, distinguished speakers who are here today. Before I introduce our next special guest, the reason we're here today, I wanted to invite you to volunteer to be part of Team Martin, to sign up with our volunteer who's taking names over here. Before you leave, we need all the help we can get to get Martine elected to the Board of Supervisors. So with that said, it is my great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Mayor of the City of Santa Paula, Chief of Staff of Ventura County Supervisor Kathy Long's office, a man of experience and commitment from the people, of the people, and the next Ventura County Supervisor of District 3, Martin Hernandez.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I can't thank you all enough for taking time out of your busy lives to be here with us today, because this is certainly about us, not me, about us and our future. I want to take a second to thank my distinguished speakers and all those sitting behind me for showing up and lending their support, and all of you for showing your support today. I do want to take a moment as a veteran to acknowledge and thank my fellow veterans, brothers and sisters, for being here today, including my son Joshua. Thank you for being here, Josh. And a quick shout out to his brother, who's still serving active duty in the Army back in Fort Gordon, Georgia. You know, as I stand here, I look past you all and I see the flag flying at half-mast. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the passing of a wonderful, wonderful First Lady this past weekend. First Lady Ronald Reagan. And I'm thinking about the many that are trying to go by and pay their respects at the Ronald Reagan Library, where she lies in repose at this moment. But I happen to be filled with a sense of excitement for her and for the president, as I know as they near her internment and the endearing love and support that she offered her husband throughout his whole life. I'm excited for them. And I understand that feeling that the president has and had and experienced during his tenure and his life with his partner, because I share that same feeling with my wife, Holly. I told her recently, and I'm going to tell everybody publicly, that I would not be where I am right now if it wasn't for you. So thank you very much for always being by my side. You know, a good friend told me, a matter of fact, a number of years ago, when I was out in Fillmore at an event that I so often went to as part of my duties as Chief of Staff, but he told me, may he rest in peace, Fire Chief Rigo Landeros, says, hey, if your boss ever decides to retire someday, do you think you might think about it? Because I see you out here working with the people. You know, we've heard it today already, and I'm going to try not to repeat a lot of what we already heard. But he says, Martin, you know, you work day in, day out with everyone, regardless of how powerful or how powerless. And you're the kind of supervisor that I want next. And if you do decide to run, I'm going to do everything I can to support you and get this whole city behind you. So that was probably the first clue that I thought people might have confidence in me to run. But upon Supervisor Long's retirement announcement last year, it became more and more evident from people who would approach me, friends and supporters, co-workers. I mean, it's no secret, I work here. My office is in the corner of that building right there. I've been there for the last 15 years, representing those constituents in this 3rd district. And they would say things like, you know, you ought to be there because of those 15 years of comprehensive experience you've had serving the supervisor. It makes you the best candidate for the job. Not just because you've been there, but again, because we've seen you day in and day out, standing up for the people who need the help, going above and beyond what's asked of you to help serve those so that no one's left behind. You know, that's my vision. See, I have no problem giving myself to my fellow man. As you heard, I signed a dotted line like a lot of you did to give everything, including my life, to this country. And I'm committed to giving everything I have and all the experience I've gained, not only through my work at the county, but as a policymaker in Santa Paula, as a volunteer running programs in Santa Paula. Let me take a minute to talk about that, because I really want to, that is probably something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Actually, we're in our 18th year of running a free tattoo removal clinic in the city of Santa Paula. We have given thousands of treatments to people, believe it or not, from 4 years old to 84 years old, that have tattoos on them that they got by mistake or that were forced upon them. A myriad of reasons of why they'd want those removed. And I've been coordinating the volunteers for that, the doctors, the staff. It's all run by volunteers. Doesn't cost the county a penny. And I know it doesn't cost them a penny because we also ask for donations to pay for the supplies that we use. And the return to the community and the volunteer service that these people do and the gratitude that they have for having the ability to, one more time, continue on that path of changing their lives. Because if there's anybody here that can tell me honestly, by raising their hand, that they have not made a mistake in their life, I challenge you to raise your hand right now. See, I think we all have done that. And I think that the one thing that we all deserve is dignity and respect. I learned that from my parents. As we heard, they were immigrant parents. They taught me these values as a little boy, and I carry that every day when I walk on this earth. Not only knowing that we all deserve dignity and respect in everything that we do, but from our trusted servants too. That we should be heard, that we should be given a voice, and that we should be represented in the things that we need most to improve our quality of life. I'm committed to doing that 100%, and I can do that without costing the county any more money. So I've created relationships with so many wonderful people in this county, people like Tony from IBEW, other unions, and one of my dreams is to bring those unions in to our local jail and start teaching those inmates, because of the prisoner realignment that we're experiencing now, teaching those inmates some book skills, some knowledge skills while they're incarcerated. And hopefully when they're released, they can be in line for an apprenticeship with some of these unions, so they're out there getting jobs. That's probably the number one thing that they ask for. And I know because I work with them. I just need a job to be good. I just want to buy groceries for my family. I don't want to create another crime. I want to be able to support my family, but I need the skills to do it. That's what we need to start thinking about. You know, again, I can work with the powerful, and I can work with the powerless. And to me, everybody's on the same plane. Just as I look across all of you, I see so many friendly faces, supporters, people I've worked with over the years, family, friends, and I think there isn't one thing I wouldn't do for any of you, no matter how well or how not so well that I know you. But I do know that in my bag of tools that I picked up over the last 16 years, and the network that I've created, I have a tool that can help you. All you have to do is ask. All I ask of you is that you ask. Because if I don't know what your needs are, there's no way I can bring my tool chest to help you out. Right? So with that said, I want to encourage you to get out and vote first and foremost. If anyone is not sure who they're willing to vote for at this point in time, tell them to give me a call. I'll sit down with them, I'll buy them a cup of coffee, I'll buy them breakfast, and explain to them how important it is, again, to not leave anyone behind. The most vulnerable people in our county are counting on all of us. The seniors, our veterans, our homeless, those struggling with mental illness, and those who need jobs. We've got to do our best to serve those people and not just do the minimum, because we are all better than that. We all deserve better than that. Again, I can't thank you enough for you all being here, friends and family, your support, endorsers. Our latest endorsement, so you know, we just picked up the Ventura County Professional Firefighters Association, so they're behind us as well. You know, if you have time to visit the table, you'll see some literature there about some of the platform issues. I just really want to quickly mention some of the things that I see as priorities and that are always on my radar. Our public safety, our healthcare system, access for all to that healthcare system. Maintaining and sustaining and managing our natural resources from agriculture and working with my friends in ag. I see our ag commissioner back there. Henry, thanks for joining us today. Mary Moranville, who's out there educating our youth and telling them how important it is to take care of this planet and where their food comes from. Those are the people that we need to think about when we're making policies. We need to think in the future, what are our grandkids going to tell us how we did today. I've got my grandson, Josh, hold up forward for me for a second. Where is he? He's over there, back in the back. My 1-year-old grandson's here today. When I look at him, I think, you know, when he's my age, I want him to be able to say, you know what, Tata, thank you very much for taking care of this place for me and making the right decisions. Okay, so thank you all for being here. Please make sure to get out and vote. Tell your neighbors to get out and vote when they go out to vote. Who are they going to vote for? Thank you very much. Have a great day.